Alright, so we have our simple Hello World application in Express, but there's one problem with this. So the issue is that here in our response, we're just serving this static string every time. What we really want to do is send back an HTML page, but at the same time we actually want to change the contents of that page programmatically. So the way we can do this is using a template library. So the first thing we want to do is make a directory for our HTML pages. So we're going to call this directory views. And then let's open views hello.html. And for this, let's just do h1 hello name. We'll see what this means in a bit, but basically these two curly braces on either side of name is special syntax for the templating engine that we're going to use in this example. Alright, so now let's go back to our application and let's actually include our templating engine. So we're actually going to use a library called consolidate. And what consolidate is basically a set of wrappers for a number of template libraries for Express. So it's just that Express requires template libraries to have a certain interface, and consolidate handles that for us. So what this allows us to do is go down here and say app.engine, set the module HTML to be cons.swig. So Swig is actually the template engine we're going to be using, and we're using consolidate so that we can integrate it directly with Express. So now that we've registered that module, we can say app.set and set our view engine for Express to be HTML. And the last thing we need to do is tell it where to look for the views. So we say app.set views to be __dir name current directory plus the views directory. Alright, so now we've registered Swig, our template engine, with Express, and then we've told it where to look for our HTML files. So now let's actually generate a template. So instead of sending the static string and result.send, we'll actually do result.render. And we'll look for the page hello. It'll automatically add the HTML extension. And we actually give it a dictionary with one key, name, and the value of Swig. So this is going to be passed directly to our template engine. So let's see how this all works. So let's run our application, and we're missing the module again, so let's just do npm install consolidate. We got a few warnings, but it looks like consolidate installed successfully. Now let's do npm install swig, since we know we're using that as our templating engine. Alright, so now let's do node app.js again. Now our server is listening on port 8080. So let's go back to our browser, localhost 8080, and we get hello swig. So if we go back to our application, cancel this, our app.js, what's actually happening here is that we get a request that's handled by this handler here, and then we call response.render with hello and this hash. So name as the key, swig is the value. And what that does is it loads hello.html, and name here is actually going to be whatever name we pass in the hash. So that's how to use Swig with Express to create HTML templates on the server side. This is just meant to be a very simple example. There's actually a lot out there in terms of client-side rendering, but we're not going to cover that in this course.